I mean, if it's for free, I'm not going to object.
Hi. Good, how are you?
What can I do for you?
I was actually just at your neighbor's house and was working on their AC system. They had mentioned how they really appreciated you as a neighbor, and they said that your AC system looked like it was pretty old. Maybe we could just do a maintenance on it.
Sure. It was so hot in the house.
1998.
Yeah. It's only 24 years old.
Almost as old as me.
Yeah, I just turned it on. I've never serviced it anywhere.
Have you by chance priced out what a new system costs these days?
No, I have no idea. That was
2,500.
What are they now?
Yeah, new system ranges anywhere from 10 to 15,000. We have a YouTube channel. Basically, what we try and do is we look for people that have an older system that really needs to be replaced, and we replace it free of charge.
Okay.
No price to you as far as labor or the equipment. It's all 10-year warranty.
I mean, if it's for free, I'm not going to object.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm super excited for this new series that we're doing that is sponsored by Alpine Home Air, where we find someone in the Salt Lake Valley that's in need of a new system. We'll replace it completely free, no labor, no charge for the equipment. It is zero cost to the homeowner, and we get to see awesome reactions. I got the suspicion that this lady had been sold items that she didn't really need in the past, so she was a little bit leery, which I totally understand when somebody's offering to give you a $10,000, $15,000 item. But we'll see at the end of this video how she admits she felt about the old existing system. But sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy.
All right, so here's the new equipment that we're gonna be installing today. This is a Blue Ridge gas furnace, coil, and condenser. And this is the old equipment that we're gonna be removing. This is about 30 years old, still running, but definitely has seen better days. So this is going to be a really nice upgrade for this customer, and no doubt she's really excited that all of this is completely free of charge. So we're going to work on getting the furnace removed downstairs. Terry's going to be working on that, and meanwhile I'm going to be focusing on getting the condenser out, getting the new one put in, and everything connected there. All right, so this is the furnace and evaporator coil that we're replacing. And the beauty of this is we're going to be upgrading the filtration system. So right now they run a 16 by 25 by 1, and they're really hard to replace. Let me just pull these covers off and show you. So every time they want to replace the filter, they have to take off this bottom door. And as you can see, there's a big gap here. So air can actually go around the filter. And even with that, you can see that only part of this filter is being used. So the new filter rack is going to be much easier. We'll just be able to slide a old filter out, the new one in, put the door back on, and we're good to go. Really curious to see what this evaporator coil looks like too. So once we get that off, we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna use the compressor on this existing system to pump everything into the condenser. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this king valve right here, and it's basically gonna block off any refrigerant from going from this pipe into the condenser. And then we're gonna manually turn on the condenser, and it's gonna start sucking the refrigerant into here until our gauge reads 0, and then we'll lock it in right here, and everything will be contained into this unit, and then we can pull it off and install all of our new stuff. This is a 16-SEER condenser, and it has a full 10-year warranty. Customer service over there at Blue Ridge is amazing. They do a really good job to make sure the customer is satisfied. So really excited to get this put in. So let's get it pumped down and get this unit removed. Okay, so with my left hand, I'm gonna hold in this contactor and the compressor will start. And now on our gauges, we're just gonna wait for this to go. Slowly it's gonna start going down. And once it gets to 0, we'll close that low side port right there. So now that everything's pumped into the condenser, we're going to pull our disconnect here And this is pretty new, so I think we're gonna leave this this disconnect here. Obviously this was replaced before, so we're simply gonna pull this disconnect out and we'll just set it on top there. All right, so everything is cleaned up here. As you can see, whoever did this concrete driveway did not take out the AC unit, which is not the greatest idea. They poured around it, I guess. So we got it as cleaned up as we could. And what I'm actually gonna do to make this a lot easier to use and service is I'm going to put the corner with the electrical right here, so you have plenty of access. As you could see, when I was taking it out, it's kind of a pain. So this guy right here is actually going to be on the corner here, and then we'll just adapt our copper fittings there, and then our electrical will just come in right there. So let's go ahead and set it in place, and then we'll show you what we got. Okay, so we got our unit set in place. As you can see, we have tons of room to work with, so this is going to be far superior. And then inside of the unit, we have our filter dryer, which is pretty compact. I like how small these are. And we also have our installation guide there. So we're going to get our lines fitted, and then our electrical is just going to come up just like that. So our electrical is done. We've got our 2 hots going to the contactor and our ground, as well as the 2 signal wires to tell the condenser when to come on. So everything is done in here. We're going to go ahead and cover this back up with our service panel, and then we'll move on to our refrigerant lines. Okay, so as you can see, we have our pipes fitted. Everything looks really nice. Once this is all done, we'll re-insulate the larger suction line, and I'm gonna be brazing for this one. A lot of times I use Stay Bright 8, but I wanted to whip out the brazing set. So we're gonna go ahead and get our nitrogen flowing through these hoses, and then we'll get to brazing. All right, so now that that's done, we're just gonna take our mirror. We had to touch up this little spot right here, but everything else is perfect. And this over here is perfect. Really nice coverage all the way around. Okay, let's move on to the high side now. All right, our lines out here are fully complete. So everything out here is actually done. And then once we get our lines connected inside, we'll be ready to pull our vacuum. All right, so we got our old furnace out, and you're gonna be blown away. Look at all this nasty stuff on the sides of the furnace in here, filthy, but wait till you see the evaporator coil. So this little end coil, as you can see, the top is half decent, but check out the bottom. Can't even see the fins in the apex. Terrible. All right, so we have our furnace laid on its side, and we have our new filter rack. This is going to be a huge improvement from what she had before. We've already held this up against the return in there, and we know that we have to lift it. We have to make our hole 1.5 inches above ground level. So we're gonna mark it at 1.5 inches, and then I'm just gonna use this as a straight edge here. And now we're just gonna trace this all the way around, and that is going to be the opening that we're gonna cut for our filter. We're gonna be using turbo shears on this. That makes this job really easy. So we're gonna punch a hole and then use our turbo shears to cut this out. And now we have a spot where we can put in our turbo shears. These things are awesome, and they only go in the counterclockwise direction. And there we go, easy as that. So this furnace is ready to be put downstairs, and we'll get our filter box attached down there. All right, here's the new furnace, and there's the new coil. We're about to get this cut, and then we'll put the coil in. And I don't even think we're gonna need a transition, so we'll probably mastic tape this, and that will be perfect. Then we can make our copper connections and get our vacuum pulled. Meanwhile, we'll be over here sealing up this filter rack and getting our electrical redone. We're gonna redo this with new MC cable and run it down with a new switch here. All right, so here's where we're at. Got the filter rack in, furnace and coil, and this is simply going to be taped here. We just didn't have enough room with the existing ductwork, but it's totally fine. We're gonna tape that up and make sure it's sealed nicely. Tape up the bottom, make sure that's sealed, and then we'll make all the rest of the connections here. All right, so here's a little update. We have everything sealed up on both the coil and the return air here. So this is where our new filter rack or filter is going to slide in. We're installing the new fused switch here. I always like to tape these just to make sure there's nothing gonna touch the side of this by chance. And then our black wire just connects in here. The rest will be connected on the back side, and that's just gonna mount like that. We have brand new MC cable that runs to our junction box. So we're gonna wire that in and then cover it with a cover plate. And next we'll be moving on to our refrigerant lines. So we're just gonna extend those up there to right here, and we'll have our filter dryer here as well. Brazing is done, so we're gonna go out there and pull our vacuum. All right, so we're ready for vacuum. This is my setup. I have a fitting right here so we can isolate this when we send the refrigerant into the lines. Just in case any of you didn't know, all of these systems come pre-charged for about 15 feet. And when you open these, this is like a barrier. So nothing is on this side, all the refrigerant is on this side. And as soon as we open these, it lets all that refrigerant in. So right now we are pulling a vacuum on this and the evaporator coil. And then once we're done, we open it and let all of this in. Now over here, we have our core removal tool, and this allows you to pull a deeper vacuum faster. And as you can see, we have our core right here. And I'll show you how to put that core back in when we're done. And to do our decay test, we simply close this and we can isolate the pump from the whole system and make sure that it stays at 500 microns or less. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on our vacuum pump. This is a Navac battery powered vacuum pump with a Milwaukee battery adapter. So I have all the same batteries with everything. So all of these are open. So as soon as this ramps up, we'll see what our microns are doing, and we'll see how quickly we can get them down. It's 442 right now. It's 443. It's been 2 minutes. And as you can see, we're at just dropping rapidly. 18, 15, 12,000. So I think we'll be able to get a really deep vacuum on this system since it's a pretty low length line set. So we'll see how low we can get it, and we'll make sure that we can maintain that for over 5 minutes. And then we will be able to send the refrigerant in by means of these 2 king valves here. All right, so I've swapped over to the field piece just to confirm that this was reading the same, and it was indeed. We're reading 240 microns. So I'm gonna call that good. We're gonna isolate this, turn off our pump, and we'll let this sit. And as long as we don't get above 500 microns within 5 minutes, we're golden. So 510, we'll come back and check. As you can see, it's about to roll over 510, and we are nowhere close to 500. We're still just right at 200 microns. So we are golden. We're gonna go ahead and isolate this valve. This one is isolated still, and we're gonna open up both of these lines. And that is it. Next, we're gonna show you how to put our Schrader core back in. So first of all, let's remove this hose. And next, what we're gonna do, since our Schrader core is still attached to this, we're just gonna slide this halfway like that. Slide the core in, and then thread this piece on. And now when we open this, you'll see this kick back because there's now pressure on it. So with one hand, we're gonna hold it in, and with the other, we're gonna tighten it until we get some resistance. And that's how we know that it's seated. There we go. That's it. So we'll turn this back off, slowly open this one, and then slowly open this to verify that it's working. Beautiful. That's it. Throw our cap back on here. We'll throw our gauges on, make sure that our pressures are good, and we can just zip this one off as well. Just the core is still in there, nothing's gonna come out. Let's fire this baby up. All right, guys, we just fired up the furnace. Everything sounds perfect in there. These are always a pain for whatever reason. Here we go. Nice and quiet. First startup in its life. Pulling a lot of heat already. So we'll give it a minute to let our pressures stabilize, but we're already pulling tons of heat, and we'll check the supply temp at our vents and see what we got there. So as you can see, we're blowing 60 degrees and dropping probably closer to 59, and it's currently about 84 degrees. We have a really good temperature drop right where we want it, and this is gonna cool down nice and quick. So here's the finished product, guys. So we have nice new insulation. We have the brand new coil here, our filter dryer, and we have this sealed up so no air is coming through. Our condensate drain goes back down to this pump, and the safety switch is wired in. Not to mention, we don't have to open this door to get to the filter. She really had a struggle with that, so she's gonna be really excited about this. The filter rack is super easy to use, so simply slide this out. Already caught some stuff. Slide the new one in, and you're good to go. So I have to come back and put this in, but we have the gas turned off, so she can't run the furnace. But it's the middle of summer, so we're gonna come back in a couple of days and connect this to the exhaust there. Everything turned out really nice in here, and this is gonna be a really nice upgrade, and she's super stoked about it. Well, guys and gals, here's our finished product. The lines look really nice. Everything is super clean. Such a huge upgrade from this. The customer actually just came out and they were like, man, it's so quiet compared to this one. It was rattling and just made all kinds of racket. In fact, I'm gonna do a decibel count on this one just to show you how much more quiet it is, not to mention the lack of rattling. Hey, Mal. How's it feeling in here? Still feeling nice and cold. This is the new outside unit. We did a sound comparison between the old one and this one, and it was pretty night and day.
You think? Well, that's only rusted, falling apart.
Yeah.
But my copayment on my drug that I bought yesterday, my portion of it is $606. And that's a month. I can hardly.
Almost as much as my mortgage.
I was worried about it dying on me. I didn't think it would last another year. No, I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. The customer was super happy that she was able to get a full brand new system completely free of charge with a full 10-year warranty. She kept stating how happy she was about how quiet it was. In fact, as you can see here, we were able to get 7 decibels quieter with the new system, so a huge improvement in that respect. Not to mention, this system is a 16 SEER, so we're actually gonna save her money in the long run by having lower energy bills for the years to come. Now, if you're aware of someone in the Salt Lake Valley area that could use a new system, maybe they can't afford a new system and they really need it, send me an email to DIYHVACguy@gmail.com if you'd like to nominate someone, and we'll see if they're a good fit for this program. Huge shout out to Alpine Home Air. They provided the products in this video, the Blue Ridge equipment. It is fantastic. This was a super easy install, very straightforward, and I highly recommend their product. Check them out at alpinehomeair.com. Let me know in the comments what you enjoyed about this video. Was it the reaction? Was it the more technical side of things? Or was it the more time-lapse things where you could see how things were transformed? Let me know in the comments so I can kind of tailor future videos so that you can enjoy them the most. Now, one final thing, on every one of these charity giveaway videos or installation videos, we're gonna do our monthly giveaway. And as you can see right behind me, this month we're giving away this Vitoman 1000 watt power station. Super nice product, valued at about $500. There is no purchase necessary. However, if you are a member on our channel, you will get 10 times entries for this particular item. All you have to do to be entered for this giveaway is leave me a comment. Let me know what you appreciated about this video, and you'll automatically be entered. And we will announce the winner in next month's charity giveaway sponsored by Alpine Home Air. Now, if you guys would like to see some more of these charity giveaways, you can check out our playlist right here where we have other installs like this one, and you can see the reactions from all these folks hearing for the first time that they have a brand new system free of charge. Till next time, you guys be safe. Later.